In this video, we're going to review graphing an equation just using the slope and the y-intercept. Now, in the example that we're doing right now, this equation is already in slope-intercept form. You'll notice it starts with a y. It's equal to a number which represents the slope, x, plus the y-intercept. So there's very little work you have to show for this, but it's very important that you write this work down every time you do a problem so that you get used to what you're looking at, and so that these problems eventually get easier. So the only work you have to show is write that the slope, m for slope, is -3. Now I'm going to write that -3 as a fraction, so -3/1. And remember, if the slope is negative, that means when I write my fraction is a form of division, the signs need to be different for the answer to be negative. So I have a -3 and a +1. The signs are different. I have a -3 slope. Now, remember, slope on a graph is rise over run, at least the formula is rise over run. So the -3 represents the rise, a negative rise would go down, and the run is 1, a positive run goes to the right. Now, there are two ways I can do the slope, my rise over run. Since the signs have to be different to have a slope of -3, I could also write them as being different if the 3 was positive and the 1 was negative. Both -3 divided by 1 is -3, and 3 divided by -1 is -3. So both of these will work as a slope. The second part is the y-intercept. +4 means the y-intercept is 4. Now, this is the only work that I have to show. If I'm going to do the graph, I start with the y-intercept. My y-intercept is 4. That means on the graph, on the y-axis, my y-intercept is at 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put a dot right there. Then I'm going to use my rise and run to count the next dot. So if I use this first fraction, a rise of -3 means down 3, and a run of +1 means 1 to the right. So I'll do that. I will count down 3, 1, 2, 3, a rise of -3, a run of +1, 1 to the right. A rise of -3 means 1, 2, 3 down, and a run of 1 means 1 to the right. A rise of -3 means down 1, 2, 3, and a +1 for the run means 1 to the right. Now, I could, from my y-intercept, do the second fraction I have here, a rise of 3 and a run of -1. If I were to do that, a rise of 3 would be 1, 2, 3 up. And under most circumstances, I would not do this. It's off the graph, but I want to show you how it could be done. So a rise of 3 again is up 1, 2, 3, and a run of -1 means go 1 to the left. Once you have your dots, you connect them with a line, use a straight edge, and then once you have your line, you go back to the original equation, y equals -3x plus 4, and you label your equation.